Welcome back, everyone. We'll start with the Photoshop now. I'm just waiting for all the students to join back, and then we'll start. Okay, so students are joining, so I'm just waiting. So as I will have all the required number of students, then I will start because it's showing me over here concurrent viewers 5. So once I will have all the concurrent viewers, then I will start. Okay, so I'll start now. In like Photoshop is used for various purposes, for painting, for image editing, for uh, drawing, for designing. So one of the main features of Photoshop is to work on images and image editing for photographers basically. So that's what we will see today. So to work on, I will open some windows. Once you will open Photoshop, you will get everything here, just like the way you can see on my screen. To create a new file, you just have to press create new. But as you are doing image editing, so you might create a new file and you can like a copy paste inside that image file. Okay, but we will open some images. Okay, so I will go here and in my folder, I will search for some sample images. Okay, so there are some few sample images that we were using before. So I will open few images here, portrait images and some different kind of other images here. And then I will open. So I was pressing, I pressed Control key to select more than one image. So when you press Control key and select, and you can click on images that you want to open, and they will be all open in a tab just like I have here. So I have all these images in over here on the tab. and you can see that images. And if you want to see all of them, because not all of them will be shown here, so you can click either this arrow button here to go to the next images, okay, or you can click on this double arrow and you can select images from here. Now these are the JPEG images, TIFF images, or any other images which I opened, which directly open. Okay. So next I will show you how what will happen if you will open a raw image. But right now let's see what do we have here on Photoshop. Basically on Photoshop, the tools that you will be using here are mainly the move tool, the rectangle selection, the mark you like a rectangle mark you tool, lasso tools, magic wand tool. Usually we don't use it a lot here, but in some areas, some parts you can use that. If you keep it clicked, you have these options. These two are heavily used, okay. And crop, now this is for designing basically. This is for color picking. Sometimes you use this, you heavily used over here, all these tools: spot healing, patch tool, content aware, move, a red eye tool, all these you use here. Brush tool usually basically uses for painting purposes, but in photography you use it for masking. Clone tool is used a lot for cloning. Pattern stamp tool for pattern drawing over here. So pattern, we don't use it a lot. We use mainly clone tool. History brush tool actually is for like removing anything from the history. You just click over here, you go to the history, okay, you choose any part of the history and then you brush over it. So what it will do, it will remove that particular part from the history. Okay. Eraser tool, we use it most of the time. Bucket tool, not too much. Smudge tools, blur, sharp, these three we heavily use. Dodge tool, burn tool, sponge tool we heavily use. Pen tool, we don't use it. Okay. Sometimes, very rarely we use it, but not most of the time. Text, no, we don't use that. Direct selection, we don't use that much. Can be used, but not heavily. And these are the two tools we don't use it heavily. This is just for navigation purposes, hand tool and zoom tool. Okay. Next we have here edit toolbar. If you click over here, it will show you that there are some tools which are missing or can be added inside your selection. Okay, so that you get it from here. If you click on edit toolbar, so you will get all these tools over here. So basically all of them are here, but some of them are not there. So maybe you can use that, or maybe you cannot, or maybe you don't want to use it. It's up to you, but all of them are here, so we don't have to worry about this. On the right side we have here history. Whatever you will do on the image, it will start creating the history of it. Action tools, something you do on the image and you want to repeat that action many times, so you record that steps. When you record those steps, you can use those steps many times. So that is the action. It's like record and play. Brush settings is for the painting purposes. This is for painting purposes also. Layer comps, basically for the layer and all those things, basically for designing purposes. Notes, if you want to give some notes to your friend or something, like you can create any note, put some notes on your image. Okay. So for notifications, when he will open, he can read the notes wherever he will put it, just like a sticky note. 3D for designing purposes. Properties will give you the image properties, and there are some options here that you usually use over here. Okay. Now, after that, we have information of the image itself. Now, apart from that, we have color, swatches, gradient, patterns. All these are basically options that are used for designing, also for photography in some cases. Library will connect you to the Adobe Cloud library over here. Okay. Adjustment are basically, if you want to work on a particular layer and want to edit that, you can use adjustment, any one of these adjustments from here. Now on the top, we will use them one by one later on. Okay. Once we will move forward, but today we will be only giving us we will be only having a short tour of it. Now all these images that we have open are JPEG images, so that's why they directly open inside the Photoshop. But what if these images are not a Photoshop file, or sorry, a JPEG file? If it is not a JPEG file, if it is a raw file, so then what happens? If I go to File, Open, any raw file, suppose I have this raw file here, NEF, this is Nikon's raw file. If I will open this one, what will happen? It will not directly open in Photoshop. It will open another window which is known as Camera Raw. So Camera Raw is what? Camera Raw is like a built-in software inside Photoshop, okay, for adjusting raw images, exactly for the raw images, okay. So whenever you open raw image, you will get this. So you just have to press Get Started, and once you do that, you can start working on this one. Here's the thumbnail, okay. It's like a preview of your image. So you can go and set it up, or you can share it with some like, you know, you can save it. This image options here. So all the details you want to give. Now, whenever you save any raw file inside uh, Lightroom or Photoshop, so that raw file becomes DNG file. DNG is basically the raw file for the like coming out of Photoshop, like here. Example, as you can see, DNG. So this DNG is the Photoshop and Lightroom raw file. Now this is one of the picture, and here you can see everything that you have learned inside the Lightroom similar. So let's today we will go through all of these. These are the main categories: edit, crop, spot removal, graduate filter, radial filter. You already have done this one in the Lightroom, but let's just go over how it works in Photoshop. Now we are in the edit mode. Now in the edit mode, we have auto and we have black and white. If you click on auto, automatically it will set it up for you. But I don't recommend that, because sometimes it's not right. The effect, you will not get a right effect. It might not be that good. So you do manually. Black and white will convert your image into black and white. Okay. Now if you're doing auto, or sorry, if you're doing colored, so you have different profiles here. So you can have Photoshop, Adobe Vivid, Adobe Landscape, if you're working on landscape, or Adobe Color. So we will usually keep it, we usually keep this at Adobe Color. Now basics. Now let's go to the basic and see. First of all, we have white balance. Now when you take an image, so image also have a white balance, which is coming from the camera. So you can choose that one, or you can go to any one of these. Like suppose this image was taken under a yellow light, means tungsten. So if I go to tungsten, it will change this to whitish, which is not that good. If I will choose auto, automatically it will change it. As shot means it will take the white balance which was done in the camera. Or I can take my dropper, choose any white part, like suppose this one, and image will be changed accordingly. But if this is not my white part, this is the white. So if I click on this one, result will be a little different. So you can see that. Okay. So I will keep it as shot, and manually you can also change it. So if I will change it, the temperature to a little bit colder, like bluish, change this one a bit, so you can see the image is getting changed. Now we have the exposure, like the brightness or darkness of the image. So I will increase the contrast, the exposure of it. Okay, but not too much. Otherwise, what will happen? I will start seeing the bright overexposed. So I can turn on my clipping, just like in Photoshop or Lightroom you have. When I turned it off, you can see that this part is becoming red. That means exposure is too high. So I have to reduce this much. But then you can see there is a blue. That means it is getting darker. Now issue is that this image has taken the photo of a screen. Screen is already bright, so we cannot do anything about it. So we can have little bit brightness just like this, which is okay. But main thing is that you can now view easily your like everything that I have on my table. Now, if I will increase the contrast, you can see that if it is bringing the white and the black more prominent. So that's not good. So I have to reduce a bit till I get rid of these ugly lights and all those things. Okay. Now I have here shadows and highlights. Now highlight, if I will increase it, it will make it all red, which is not good. So it's better to reduce it. So when I will reduce the highlights here, you can now see the image is completely corrected. Not completely corrected. There is some red and black area here, but not bad as it was before. So this clipping will help you to adjust this. Now shadow, if I will increase the shadow, so you can see that I don't have that blue parts anymore. Now white, if I increase it, I will start getting this red thing on the screen, which means that I'm not doing it right. If I will reduce it, you can see the white is getting lesser, and I'm getting rid of that red area here. Black, if I increase it or decrease it, so black will start coming up. You can see that here, but I don't want that. I will keep it as it is. Now texture, whatever texture is in my image, as you have seen, learned in your concept, okay, in your theoretical class, that texture is about uh, the roughness of any image, the smoothness of any image. Basically, if your texture is really good, you can feel that texture uh, by looking at the image, which is known as implied texture. Okay, so if I will increase the texture, so you can see that it is increasing the texture of my image here. Okay, clarity, if I reduce, it will become blurry. Increase, so it will become readable. So you can see the fonts, they are getting readable, but I'm getting this blue part. That means the black should be reduced. So I will just work on the black here. Now there is no black. Dehaze, if I reduce it, my image will become very hazy. You can see that. Okay, if I increase it, so it will become more clear, but I don't want to play with this. Okay, now I have vibrance, the amount of color. If I increase it, the color will become very bright. Okay, or if I decrease it, it will become very dull, almost black and white. It's not black and white, but almost black and white. But I will increase it a bit here. Okay, and then saturation, I will decrease it to make it balanced. Okay, this is a good way to do that. Increase the vibrance but decrease the saturation. So this is the basics. So we are done with the basic of the editing. Now we have the curve. If you all remember, same curve we have here, exactly the same thing. So highlights, you can decrease the highlight if you have more highlights. Lights, you can increase it, but this light, can you see it's not affecting this part like the sorry, I'm changing the highlights here. Sorry, the dark here. If I will change the light, so you can see the light is not affecting too much, but when I go off, it will affect. Okay, so I don't want to keep it affected. Or if I go lower, so you can see the blue here is light there. So dark light is not producing any bad effect here, but bright light is affecting. Now dark. If I go darker, you can see the blue is coming up. But if I will go higher, so it is getting brighter, but no issues. I don't see any issues here, even if I go completely here, because I'm not getting that issue here of the clipping. Shadows, if I go lower, so you can see the blue is coming because it's getting blacker. If I increase it, so I'm not getting any issues here, but the image doesn't look that good. So that's about the curve. Detail is sharpening of the image. If I increase the image will become sharper, and I don't want to increase it much more, though it help us to read everything here clearly, but it will create noise. Now once you had noise, you have two kind of noise: overall noise and color noise. So if I will decrease the overall noise, so you can see image is becoming little bit blurry. So I don't want it to be too blurry, so I will keep the noise reduction till 18 or something like that. Colored noise reduction, that I can increase. So if there is any color spill, color noise, so that will be fixed. Okay, or little bit this one. So mix. Now color mixer. Color mixer, here we have that three wheel, if you remember. Okay, the same thing here. Suppose I don't like this area. So if I click over here and start working on that, so it will help me to create. Or I can choose my own area over here, own color over here to work on it. Okay, so that's you can do. Same thing as we have done in the Lightroom. Exactly the same thing. Okay, so here we have hue, saturation, luminance, everything just like that. Now color grading. Color grading, just like we have in Lightroom, we have the three color wheels. Okay, same thing. Midtones. I want to keep the midtones a little bit orangish. Okay, and if I will press shift on my keyboard and then move this one, so you can see I can move the saturation of that color. And if I will press control, so I can change the hue of that color. Now shadows, I will use opposite. I will not go this way, I will go down this way. So this is a nice way of doing that, because it creates a nice effect. Midtone, then it's up to you. Sorry, the highlights, whatever highlights you want to keep, you can keep that. And this is the luminosity, the darkness of the color that you have chosen, or brightness of that color that you have chosen. Okay, and whatever you have done the changing, you can balance it with the original from here. Okay, or you can blend it with the original from here. Color grading. Now optics. Optics, as I told you about, is the chromatic aberration, to fix that manually or through the settings. So that's about it. Now geometrical, this is something new. This is about if you want to change the color, lens correction over here. So we have auto. So it will, if I press auto, so automatically it will be changed. If I want apply only level correction, so what it will do is that it will level it up. Like maybe my camera was a little bit tilted. Okay, so it will level it up. But what if it was tilted on the like a vertical side? So that it will do. But if it is on a like a vertical level with like perspective, so I will choose this. But overall, I will choose this. So you can see that how it is changing. And then, like suppose if you see that it's perspective, right? You can see that it is perspective in this way. But I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be straight. I want something that is straight. So I can go click over here and this will become straight. Now I can choose manual. I can do the manual fixation over here, or automatic. And suppose this area, if you don't like it, you can crop this one. So it will crop that part, but it won't look nice. Okay, but you got the idea how it was before. It was not straight. Now it looks straight, just like I took the picture when I was standing straight, if I was standing straight. So this is a good way of doing that. Okay, okay, I don't know why it's not giving. Okay, let me hide this effect. Okay, then we have here vignette effect, grain effect, and then we have the calibration. Okay, I think I have to cancel this one and open the image again, because sometimes what happens, it's not refreshed. Okay, so that's, you can see what it is. Now we will go here. We are done with the edit part. Now we will go to the crop and rotate part. Now crop and rotate, basically what it does is that it helps to your image to rotate, and it helps your image to crop, basically, like suppose some parts that you want. So you can go to that part, and that will be the only part shown to you. Okay, so that's what the crop and rotate do. Now here we have a spot healing brush tool. Okay, let me undo this one. Spot healing brush tool. This is the same thing that we have studied in the Lightroom. So what you do, suppose if something is wrong, like this area, I don't want text to so I can paint over here, and I can choose the target, and I can choose the source, and it will help me to remove that part from the target. Okay, so basically this is the like target, and this is the source. So it will take it from here, and it will apply over here. So once you apply, you can make it bigger, okay, or you can change these. You can add visual spots just to see black and white image, so you know what is going on in the background, or keep it as it is. So there are different types. Cloning will clone this part and put it here, and this is healing basically to heal anything, like just like you have your midterm exam where things were not right, okay, you had a lot of damages, to fix those kind of things. Now I don't want this, so what I will do, I will just select this one and delete it, and then I will go to the adjustment brush. Now adjustment brush, what it does is that just like in Photoshop, in Lightroom, you have the adjustment brush. So anything that you want to adjust, you have to just paint over that, okay, and once you paint over that area, and when you will apply these settings, it will only apply to that particular area. Okay, so it is only applying in this area, and you can see that whatever changes I'm doing, it's only applied there. So that's what it do. So if I want to apply here, I will paint this area, and after that I can change that area, and it will be changing that too. Okay, so if you want to create a new one, then you have to press this, then adjust this one, apply here, and you can change this one as well. So you have to take a new option, and then you have to do that. Okay, suppose I don't want this one, so I can take this eraser tool and remove this by erasing, and you can see that it is erasing now, and I can erase this one as well. So I can erase whatever I have done so far. Okay, and graduate filter, as you know, same thing. You can make this graduate filter effect here, okay, and it will show you the changes. In this part, it's not that applied. Here it is more applied, so you can change the temperature. You can see the area on the green side is more affected, on the red side is less affected. Okay, so that's what it do. Let me remove this one. Oops. Now radial filter is same thing, but radial. Okay, so you can invert this, or you can keep this in this step, same as in Lightroom. Then red eye remover, just like in Lightroom, you have red eye, you have pet eye. Okay, then we have snapshots, just like in Lightroom. You have, if you have done some changes, you can create a snapshot, and then you can reuse it or see which one is better, and you can apply that one. Presets, already made one, just like in Photoshop you have, in Lightroom you have these here. Okay, so you can choose whatever you want to apply, select that, and once you're done, press done. Okay, so that's what you have, and once you are done with the image, you just press the done button. Okay, and now what will happen, it will not open it up for you, but next time if you will open that image again, it will open from where you stopped. Now if you want to open in Photoshop, you can say open the original or open as a copy. So if I will do open as a copy, it will make a copy of this and open it. Otherwise, if you will press open, it will open the original one. Now you can see it is NEF. I can still work on this one, do some other changes, because some of the effects I cannot apply it inside that raw image, but I can apply it over here. Okay, so I'll close this one right now. Now suppose I have this image now. Let's do one thing here. I have this image and I want to work on that raw image file, and this is not a raw image, but still I can take this image into the raw image area and work on this one. So what I have to do is that Control Shift and A I have to press on my screen, and when I do that, it will open the raw image for this. Okay, so now exactly I can work just like I'm working in the raw image. So I can go to basic. Okay, I can go to the auto white balance. I can do my white balance over here, work with exposure, and you can see exposure is not going good. Now it is fine. Okay, contrast, so make sure the contrast is not too high. Highlights, shadows, whites, blacks, texture. So if I will increase it, you can see the texture of his skin is also increasing here. Okay, clarity, becoming more clear. Or if you want to reduce it, if you don't want him to give that much of a wrinkle, so you can do that. So you can balance with the texture and with the clarity. Now it is clear, but texture is not that strong. So now his skin looks more cleaner. Okay, now if I will press here, so you can see that before and after. Just look at the skin and see how clean the skin is now. Now I can do dehazzing so that it's become more clear, and then I can increase vibrance to the image but reduce the saturation a little bit. So before and after, you can see how it is changing. Then I can work with the curves. Okay, a little bit highlight I can increase, but make sure if you're doing anything, you don't get the red or the blue. So otherwise that means that you're not doing it right. But you have to, for that purpose, you have to turn on your clipping. Clipping means anything that is cutting off, that is reducing or deleting. So I have to just check the lights, if light is becoming darker or brighter. Darker doesn't matter. Okay, then dark color will produce blue, which is not right. So little bit of the dark. Shadow, if you want shadow to show, you can reduce this value, or don't want to show, then you can increase. Okay, then detail, I can sharpen it up, so you can see the sharpening up. But if there is any noise, you can do the noise reduction, but not too much. Color noise reduction a little bit. Color mixer, so suppose this green is very light, I want to make it brighter, darker. So what I can do to make it darker, which value I should go from these? Hue, saturation, or luminance? Can anyone tell me which value I should go to brighten or to darken up the green? So which one should I use? Hue, saturation, or luminance? Which one I should choose? Any idea, anyone? Okay, so I will choose luminance. Okay, now luminance, what it do is that it works with the light of anything, like brightness or amount of anything. Okay, yeah, to make it darker, I will choose luminance over here. Now I will go to the green. If I will move this, it will become darker, or if I will move it to other side, it will become brighter. So only green is affecting, okay? Same thing I can do with the image like a red, okay? Or saturation, I can increase the red saturation so you can see that his lips are becoming more brighter, but I don't want that. And his orange is the skin tone, okay? Then also luminance. So that's I can do with this. Okay, then I have color grading. In the color grading, the same thing. I can give it a slight orangish high, midtones, and then shadow. I can give it a little bit bluish shadows. So nice teal orange sort of effect I can get through this. Okay, I can balance it, the background color. Optics, I don't want to play with it. Effects, I can add a little bit vignette to negative, but not too much. Because if your image is brighter, don't give it too much. Otherwise, it will look like this, which is not good. A little bit vignette. Grain also you can give, but not too much. Otherwise, it will look very noisy. Calibration, I don't want to do anything here. Spot healing tool, if you want to remove some spots from his face, okay? So maybe this spot I want to remove, maybe this spot, maybe on his nose, okay? Maybe here. Oops. So red one, you don't have to move. The trick is don't move the red one, move the green one, that's all. And you will have everything fine. Okay. And then we have some lines, smiling lines over here. So something like that, okay. Then here we have the adjustment brush tools. So if I will go to the adjustment brush tool, so you can see that I can adjust anything over here. For example, I want to make his eyes a little bit more brighter. So I can select his eye. Okay, and after that, what I can do is that I can go down, range, luminance. Okay, show this one, so it will show over here. Reduce the smoothness of it, or increase it, but I will change the range. So it will only be in a very less area. And smoothness, you can change it so it will be not blurry too much. Okay, now you will see that it is affecting the only that part of the eye. I can increase the saturation of the eye. Okay, and I can make the eye a little bit more brighter. Same thing I can do with this eye. Okay, but I don't want this to be too bright. Same, just like the other one. Okay, so that's all. And I will have something like this. Now, there is a graduate filter. Suppose you want a graduate filter just going in this direction. Okay, and the top part, I want it to be less overexposed, more contrasty. For example, highlight a little bit, but you have to make sure those red areas should not show, because that means you have a lot of highlights. Now it's not showing because I've changed the white, and also blue should not show. Okay, so that's what I can do. Temperature I will change all the way to something like here. From the top you can see that it's just a little bit bluish. Graduate filter is for something like the middle part. So I can just go and make him just like this. Red eye, he don't have a red eye, otherwise you can just go and make his eye, but it's not working, I don't know for some reason. Okay, then presets, if already made one you have. Once you are done, you just press OK and it will apply on your screen the result here. Okay, now sometimes you don't want this. If you will go here, you can see there is a camera raw filter over here. So if you will go to art history brush and paint over some area, so what it will do, it will start bringing up your old image. Okay, your old, which is this one. So maybe I want to keep the background as it is, and I can do something like that. Okay, so I will have this, or opposite, so I can go back to my camera raw filter from here and take my history brush and only paint on the background. And it will keep the original background but image something like that. On the top you will get the value of your brushes. So if I will choose the value opacity little bit lesser, so the effect will be less. If I will make it a little bit higher, so effect will be a little bit higher as well. Okay, so this is how you will get the effect on your Photoshop. Okay, now one thing that I wanted to start with like today is that, because now hopefully you have understood about what you are able to do. Now what we actually do over here is sometimes, let me check if we have some image that we can use here. Okay, not this image, let me check. I think this image is good. Now I want to create an effect using a mask, and that effect is that if you know that I have, let me close these images. I have this image. Now you can see that it's all dark. The background is dark, everything dark, only light is falling on her. I want this effect. I want the background to be dark. Okay. but I want her to be only thing that is bright. So we have different options inside the Photoshop. Okay, now one of the Photoshop is option here is, let me search over here. Okay, I don't know, I have issues with my Chrome. Let me open the other one and search on that. Maybe I will find something interesting. Okay, so I am searching over here, photography backdrops. Now in this, I can choose any backdrop which is little darkish. Okay, and size I can keep it large, so I can have a large background. Maybe this one. So I will copy this one. And I will go here, make a new one, paste it there. Now I don't want the background here. So what I can do is that I can go in her image and you see there are some properties. What if I will duplicate her layer, and after duplicating the layer, I will remove this one, the locked one, because I don't want the locked one. And now I have this, the copy of that. Now, if you will see here, you have one option called remove background. Now, if you will click on this one, automatically Photoshop will use Adobe Sensei, which is the machine learning ability, and it will remove its background in no time, very quickly. Just see that, very perfectly it has removed it. Okay, now I can go take this image, put it under her, and make it little larger here. Okay, done. Now issue over here is that it does not look like she is belonging to this part, because the background is dark, she is bright. So here the masking comes up. Now how we can do the masking inside the Adobe Photoshop. Now to do the masking, simple, what you need to do is that you just have to go in the layer option, select a new layer. Okay, create a new layer from here. Now till this part, I think you already know how to work with the layers. In Photoshop you might know how to work with the layers, so I'm assuming you already know that. I will take this regular colors, and this will give me black and white colors. On this new layer I will drop the black color. So once I will drop the black color, it will be completely black. So what I will do here is that I will start I will just produce here different kind of overlays and see which gives me a darker color look. This kind of gives me the darker color look here, but it's too dark here. Let's do multiply and then reduce this one. Something like this. Okay. And what else I can do here is that I can go to my adjustment layer. What it will do is that whatever layers are underneath, it will affect these adjustment will affect all these. Okay, like suppose if I will take my levels or curves, So it will affect whatever are under. So if I will just give a little bit curve here like this, so you can see that it is affecting. Okay. Now, what I will do here is that I will go back to my, let me turn this off for a while right now, or keep it on. Now, what I will do here is that, okay, I will make a mask. Now, what does the mask do? In the mask, whatever is white will be shown and whatever is black will not be shown. Okay. For example, to make a mask, you have to click on this button, which is a create mask button, add a mask layer. Now, once I'm done, I can create any mask, but it will not show on the screen. On the screen. To see what I'm creating, I have to go inside that. To go inside the mask, I have to press Alt and click here. If I will not go inside, I can still create the mask. Okay, and it will start producing the result, but I will not be able to see the mask, how it looks like. In order to see that, I have to go inside. So I have to press Alt, click over here. Now the mask itself is white. White means to show everything. So if I will go back by clicking here, you can see everything because the mask is white. Okay. If I will go inside, take my, or even if I'm outside, if I will click over here, take the black color and click over here. Basically, I will not drop on the image. I'm dropping here the black color. If I will drop it here, you can see that image is dropped and it is all black. So it is all black means that image is not showing. It's only showing this adjustment layer and the other two layers. It's not showing this black because it is now mask is black. Black means nothing. So I will go take white and then drop it again. So it's all white now. So it is showing. Now if I will take my brush, change the brush color to, if I press X on my keyboard, X will turn it into black, or if I will press X again, it will turn it white. Now if I will do X, so wherever I will draw with my brush, basically you can press shift, oh sorry, left square bracket and right square bracket, so it will help you to make your brush size bigger or smaller. With the black color, if I apply anywhere, so this black will not show. So suppose if I will do it here, you can see that it is not showing that. Okay, because see, if I press Alt and click it here, this is how I made the mask black. So wherever this black is, this layer is not showing. Okay, so it's only showing in the white area. So idea over here is to paint with the black color on some area so that this black part stops showing. Okay, and then we will start receiving this kind of effect. So first of all, I will take my brush, black color, click over here, but I don't want it to be opacity high. I want it low opacity. Well, otherwise what will happen? I will directly get the result and it will not look nicer. Now here, what I will do is that for the quicker result, you can use your mouse, but I will use my drawing tablet here, because with the help of drawing tablet, I will be able to quickly get the result. Okay, so I will switch back. I will switch to my drawing tablet. Okay, now I'm using my drawing tablet over here, and I will start painting the areas with the black color here. So I will start with this part because here is the light where it is starting mode. Okay. So you can see that how the result is we are getting here. But the issue over here is that, let me undo this, the opacity is too high. It should not be too high. or I will switch back to white, because if I will paint white, it will start coming, it will start erasing that. So it's, white is opposite of the black. So I will press X again, and what I will try here to reduce this. Okay, and this one I will turn it on. This is the like pressure. So, and this is the brush, airbrush. So this will work good with the pen. Okay. So now you can see that result is getting better. And little bit on the sides I will do that. Okay. Now here as well. Now what I will do, I will switch back to white, so that I don't want this area to be that much affected. So white means erasing back the parts. Let me slightly. Okay. And now what I will do, I will just increase this, decrease the size of this. And then I will switch back to this color, and slightly, if you'll notice here, let me turn this off, this smoothing. Okay, a little bit. And I will remove more, or I will add more of the white on this area, except for like, or here I will not, because this is the cheekbones where her jawline, because in the jawline there is a shadow under her. Okay, and I don't want to affect that much. Maybe this part a little bit, and this one a little bit. Okay, now once I'm done here, what I will do here is that I will start going and working on her ears, basically, because you have to be careful. The area which is bright, you have to only make those bright, but the one which is dark, like with the shadow, don't make that bright, because otherwise it will not look right. So some inner parts of this ears are not white as we wanted. Okay, and eye. Eyes are basically, as you know, are the brightest part because the light strikes on the eye more. So whether if it is back there or here, it have to be more brighter. And sides, why I want this to be brighter, because here it shows like, you know, it's hit by the light from behind, from the side views. Also the lips are a little brighter all the time, whether it is in the dark area or the bright area, because they are wet parts, so it produces more specular. Okay, nose tips. Okay, so and what I'm painting right now is just black and white, and in the end I will show you that how it actually produces. And this part of the forehead, you know, this part will be a little bit brighter, especially this area which is T zone, which makes T like this. Okay, and a little bit here. To make it even here, we can do that. Okay, I think I have to save this. Okay, now this is ready as the color. So what I will do now is that I will simply go to this layer here. Okay, and I will change its opacity till I get the result I'm looking for. Okay, and you can see that I'm getting this kind of a result here. And if you believe some of the part, like this part is getting brighter, too bright, so try changing the opacity back. Now this is fine. So I can take the white color and I will start painting, sorry, black color, and start painting this area with the high opacity. Sorry, I have to be there. That's why it wasn't working. With the white color, sorry. So with the white color, I will paint here. Okay. Now, once you are done with this, so you can see that this is how we got the result. Now, the final thing is that I will go to the top layer, then I will go to the brightness on contrast, and I will reduce the overall brightness and increase the overall contrast. Done. Now, one thing I have to check here is her hair. So if you will see, whatever you apply adjustment layer, it always comes with what? It always comes with a mask. So if I will go to this mask and I don't want this area to get affected, so I will take a black color and paint over here. Okay, let me take the black here and paint over here, and you can see her hairs are coming back now. So you can also paint onto this area. Okay, now this one is affecting the background, so I will take my black color and painting over here, so you can see them now. The background of the image is starting to appear. Okay, or let me undo that. It's better to leave it as it is. Okay, so here, if you will see, if I will go to this layer, and then if I will try to paint the black area here, this will start bringing up my background. Okay, at the same time, let's change this. Okay, now what I will do here is that I will just go to my this layer, and here I will paint it with the black, so it will not affect the background. It will keep the background just like this. Okay, at least something like that. And if you want, what you can do, you can let me do one thing here. I can go to this layer, and here I will paint it with the black color, so at least it stays a little bit dark. Okay, and what else I can do here is that I can go back to my uh, the background layer, and I can add levels over here, and slightly move it to the black levels here. Okay, now once you are done, what you can do is that you can take let me remove this from here. So I will take all these layers, okay, and then duplicate them and Control E to merge them. So once they are merged, what I can do, I can just simply go to my filter, Nick collection, Color FX Pro. Okay, and I can apply different kind of effects over here to make it look more nicer. Like suppose if I will go to tonal contrast, okay, zoom here, choose high pass or fine maybe, or balance, maybe fine. Okay. Here I can reduce the saturation a bit. Okay. So just a contrast, I'm giving 2 tones. And once I have it, I will just press OK. Okay, then what I can do here is that I can make another layer here for a final touch-up. Same thing I will do here. I will go to multiply or soft. Oh yeah, multiply I think is better. And just give a final touch-up to here, the brush. Okay. Sometimes it hangs, so I have to reopen it. Okay, so just a final touch you can give it, and maybe I will slightly change the size of this or the size. Now while painting, maybe you might notice what you're drawing. Okay, so if you will press Alt on your keyboard and see your mask, so this is this kind of mask. You can see I was doing this color, okay, over her, and then this is the mask, this is one of the mask, and this is, so you will have some interesting results of the masking. Okay, so from what we started to what we got, you can see that help of the mask. So masking is very important when you work in the your image. Okay, so there is a lot of blacks over here, which can be removed any time. Okay, so later on you can remove that blacks part here. So I think that black is in the original image, that's why. So if you want to make this part a little bit brighter, so you can go here. Okay, take the dodge, and again I will use the brush, and this one you don't have to worry about because I'm using the tablet, that's why I'm using these options. This is good for tablets if you're using. And if I paint over here, so you can see that part is becoming brighter. Okay, so but what I did mistake was that I was using on shadows, otherwise I have to use on the mid-tones. Now it's fine. Oops, wrong layer. Now you can see that. And one, you can see that now it's better. One last step here. Take the dodge tool, take the highlight, and whatever is the bright part of your image, okay, like suppose this part of the nose, or this part here, or this parts of the lips. So you can dodge this. Dodge means to act, to over bright this up. It's like old technique when we used to have uh, dark rooms where the photographers used to take like different shapes, and they overexpose the light with the help of those shapes on the photographs to make some areas brighter, some areas darker. So that is basically called dodging process. So here now you can do with easily that part. Okay, especially the area in the eyes, in the this area. This is left here because I was doing very quickly. Should not be there. And especially this part of the lip, the top part of the lip. But you have to be careful, otherwise it will show that you have applied it. Don't overdo it. Okay, and then these parts of the ear. One thing you can do is that when you're working on this dodging and burning, you have to make a new like duplicate copy of this one so that original doesn't get affected. Because if the original will get affected, then you will lose it. Right now I'm just showing you around, so I didn't make a layer. So you have to make a layer to adjust that. Okay. So whatever is the brighter part, the one which I showed you, especially on the edges, next here, the shirts. Okay. And then there is a one here which is called burn. Burn will do the opposite. Okay, you will take the shadow, okay, and it will turn the brighter into, or sorry, darker into more darker part. So these lines, if you will see that, okay, these dark lines, there you can apply this, especially in the lips, you will see these lines. So what the dodging and burning will do, it will make your brighter areas and darker areas prominent, because those are the areas which produces the features of your face. Okay, so if those are highly visible on your photograph, so it will give you more of a result of features. Your features will be more visible. So I'm going only on the dark area, especially the edges and the lines. Okay. But if you're working on a female photo, you have to be a little careful. Otherwise, what will happen? It will produce this wrinkle, which, usually females' facial features are soft. So you don't have to overdo it. Otherwise, it will create some weird results. Okay, and then some of these lines on the shirts, these darker lines, especially these one on the top, to make it smaller. Otherwise, the one that you made it brighter, they will become darker also. So very fine job you have to do here. So you can see that the lines are becoming darker, the cloth lines. So I'm doing very quickly here, but when you work, take your time to work on this. Few hours and you will be done. Okay, so you can see that we have got this now the result. Okay, final touch-ups you can give it, like suppose if some areas you think are little bit darker, so you can use the dodge there, like this area suppose. So you will have something like this kind of a result uh, after that. So this is like a studio kind of result. So before you can see that how the result was. So if I will move this image up just to show you around. Okay. So if you press shift and then click on your mask, so the mask will not show. Okay, the mask will be hidden. So this is before and this is after. Okay, so you can see the features and everything is more popping out now. Okay, so this is how like you can create a studio effect, but I did it very fast. You have to be very careful when you're doing this. Don't make it dark because still there are some patches. You can see some clear patches are there. So I didn't have time. So try to avoid these kind of patches. Like you can see that there's white here, white patch here. It should be smooth. Okay. Like if you will notice here, there are not too many patches, but you know, it should all go smooth because here you can see that is smooth, but here you can see the patches, especially here there is patch, here there is dark and bright patch. So I was doing a little faster, that's why we didn't got the result. Okay, so is it all clear? Anyone who have question, just let me know. So we can start with the attendance right now. Issue is that the Blackboard isn't working, so I will not be able to take the attendance here. So I will take your attendance through the YouTube names that you have here. Okay. So what you need to do, all of you right now, because I will forget later on, just go in the comment section. I'm talking about the comment section, not about the chat window. In the comment section, just type your name, okay? And then I will take the attendance from you there. So your name and your ID, and I will do the attendance from there. Okay, so take care. Next time we will meet for the next class in the Photoshop, and we will see more of the stuff what we can do. Okay, but practice more on the mask because mask is something that we will be using a lot in the Photoshop. Okay guys, take care, and then we will meet next week.